made it easier to establish and run a business, including providing aftercare at the highest levels, and provided more support for small to medium enterprises. We do this with the firm belief that private enterprise is the engine for economic expansion. As we look forward into 2020, our country is at peace with falling crime rates, lower prison populations, and no security threat. At Bintumani 3, Sierra Leoneans suggested ways to further lower tensions and establish a permanent infrastructure for peace. We have moved to repeal criminal libel laws that successive governments have used to suppress free speech. We continue to open up civic spaces, and we encourage our citizens to speak up and make our democracy stronger and better. In spite of the cynicism about foreign travels, we have, through those travels, transformed the reputation and image of Sierra Leone abroad by comprehensively telling our friends and partners who we really are and where we are taking our nation. And they have watched our unrelenting and determined fight against corruption. We passed the MCC's Control of Corruption indicator with very high scores. They have watched us crack down on fraud and waste and reform public institutions and practices. And you know what? The IMF, EU, DFID, World Bank, and our international partners have all expressed confidence in what we are doing, and they have re-engaged fully. We have actively promoted business in Sierra Leone through the various investment conferences, and foreign delegations have visited our country to explore investment opportunities. Fisheries, tourism, and agricultural sectors are set for significant foreign private sector investment in the near future. We are focused on rice sufficiency, cash crop production, and agricultural value chain addition. As we go into 2020, more than 2 million children, especially girls, have access to free quality education, free teaching and learning materials, expanded healthcare services, school buses, and free school feeding in some areas. We have intensified our national campaign against early child marriage, introduced robust enforcement and tougher sentencing guidelines for sexual and gender-based violence. Teenage pregnancy, menstrual health and hygiene are no longer taboo topics. Our women are at the center of our country's future development and security, and we have recruited more women into our armed forces than at any time in our country's history. We are investing heavily in STEM disciplines, especially for girls, and through the Directorate of Science, Technology, and Innovation, we are harnessing the power of data and technology to support governance, business, healthcare, education, and agriculture. We recently launched the first drone corridor in West Africa and the first blockchain national digital identity platform that will improve financial inclusion, among other benefits. Soon, we will convene a national forum on the future of education. We do so mindful of our national development priorities and goals, and knowing that for our children to lead and participate in the fourth industrial revolution and the global economy, they must be equipped with a 21st century education. We enter 2020 in a Sierra Leone where mothers in labor and critically ill cases can now be rushed into a nearby hospital or community health center by an ambulance they can call toll-free from the comfort of their homes. We will continue to work on lowering maternal mortality rates, expanding primary health care, training and recruiting more healthcare workers, and refurbishing or building new healthcare centers all over the country. In 2020, we will turn south for the construction of an ultra-modern diagnostic health center using funds recovered from corrupt officials as seed money. Our public sanitation and waste disposal investments have yielded public health benefits. We enter 2020 with a renewed commitment to fighting climate change while improving clean energy access in off-grid rural areas and tackling energy poverty through the nearly complete regional grid and other new initiatives. We enter 2020 with extensive judicial reforms that have led to more access to justice. Our social protection programs continue to support vulnerable families, and we have launched a $50 million urban mobility project. We are also rehabilitating key trunk roads through Kailan to Freetown and building new bridges nationwide. Big impact and high value infrastructure projects we commence in 2020. Our youth empowerment projects and our support for sports development, especially the Sierra Leone Premier League, have been very significant. Fellow citizens, together we have started an inspiring journey. The challenges are huge, but they are not insurmountable. Your expectations are high, but they can be met. Your aspirations are boundless, but they can be fulfilled. Nothing is impossible, even the miracles you expect us to perform. Therefore, I call for your relentless optimism and hard work to develop our nation. If you share my belief that we can make Sierra Leone a better place, I urge you to share the responsibility with me for doing so with a firm commitment to make, act, and be the change you want to see. My family and I wish you all a happy and prosperous new year. I thank you.
Well, that's now President Julius Madabio be the give a New Year speech to the people in the saloon. Well, the program is still listening to na Good Morning Saloon, where they can to live from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. You can listen to it on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl, or you can send your message to number on 077-981-981, or you can watch me live now Radio Democracy Facebook page. Well, we still get with studio guests them. We get Chelsea Alman-Hero, we are the Chief Executive Officer and founder Domestic Helpers Organization. We be there, we don't talk about the work they don't do. And also we get the Executive Secretary for Slickard, Ahmad Nano, we therefore can talk about the work with Slickard don't do.
Okay, well, we gonna come in later. But time for me studio clock now 13 minutes after 8, and quickly we go for a break.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody in like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office in let you not get the account number. Buy Edsalite pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You no need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salon Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
Sierra Leone Commercial Bank.
Better don't come. Now Union Trust Bank again. Union Salon Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, that's a loan for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme there. We branch and they all love but not alone. Boko no kenema, we de. Kabalama bogo kakambia, we de. Jala free town loan sa, we de. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank, that's a loan for me and you. Union Salon Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program na Good Morning Salon we dey listen to, and we dey bring this edition come to you this morning. My name na Sapti Yukalon.
And me na Princess Pias.
Okay, now we dey come over to our other studio guest, Ahmed Nano, Executive Secretary, Salon Chamber of Agri Business Development, SLICAD. And SLICAD don dey work for over 8 years now, and one of the making focus na for promote private investment through agriculture. Once more, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning and Happy New Year to listeners.
Okay, let family know more about SLICAD in terms of una more recent activity then.
Well, yeah, as you already mentioned, the chamber was basically established for promote private investment in agriculture sector. That is basically focusing on the production value chain and value addition value chain. And then also we entrant into the market. You will agree with me, for the past number of years, we don't exist as a country. You know, we don't get a branded product, really, where they show say come off from Sierra Leone. So other countries and don't they go too far. I know they go to the Western world, but let's just look at the African countries like Ghana, Senegal, Ivory Coast, and so on. Then get the branded products, then now we then keep it boastful of. And through that, they don't change their economies, and don't create jobs, and then don't impact food security. So, and then do that thing, and they all through the constructive support of what we call the Chamber of Agriculture. Chamber of Agriculture is very important in that drive. So, we on Chamber self now the same thing with the try for do. So, we want to see how best Sierra Leone can reduce the importation of rice in the coming years, because you know the food import bill, for example, for rice, they don't go over $200 million. Waiting bad if we will produce real rice in this country, process them very well, and make it available in the Sierra Leone market and even beyond. By doing so, we can able create jobs, we impact food security, and at the end of the day, we economy will go stronger. That foreign money will change every year for send them out for begin for import rice. Go down, and that one they will strengthen with forex. Secondly, we also do look at other, like the president don't just mention, and I'm glad we mentioned say it is coming 2020 and beyond. Then we will focus on private investment, and specifically in agriculture sector, and especially for cash crops. Those are very, very important. We're looking at like cashew, oil palm, cocoa, and coffee. Those are very, very important high cash crop commodities that are highly needed in the international market. We think to say if the government work with we for promote private investment in that sector, then Sierra Leone will make a huge amount of inroads in terms of jobs, in terms of industrialization, and at the end of the day, improving on the economy.
So you talk
Before.
about if government work with SLECAD, is it that so far government not only work with una?
Government always they work with we, but we always face challenges. The
Okay.
public sector approach and the private sector approach is always a different thing. But you remember the last government, they kind of, because we always stand on advocacy or advocating things that should be done for make sure say we encourage private and encourage and pamper private sector for make them come into the sector. No country never develop without the private sector, and no economy never change without the private sector, because government cannot do all. So, and if we able get that, right with the government then I'm quite too sure at the end of the day Sierra Leone will move forward. Now the challenge now one day.
So how well SLECAD don't they engage government and because una know most of the challenges? How well don't engage them for let them identify the challenges and possible solution for better agriculture in the country?
Well, for the past 5 or more years, and in many ways we don't sign a lot of conventions, international conventions on promoting private investment in the agriculture sector and industrialization. Many a time when you talk of agribusiness or agriculture, in a normal African, they take and make serious. But every day you sleep, when you wake up, for making you even go to job, or even go to school, or even go learn or do anything, if you don't have food, you can't have the energy to do that. Even the mindset go prepare for make you do what you're supposed to do. And food are the largest sector in the world, if you go anywhere. So if we not focus on that one day, it's an issue. And with respect to engagement on the government, we don't do a lot of advocacy. For example, before now we don't get seed law or seed policy. Now we don't push for that. We don't get a seed law, seed policy, and now the secretariat is established. You look at the fertilizer law and fertilizer policy, because if we need for going to industrialization, we need for get high yielding seeds, where farmers and agribusiness, private sector players for use, and then for also use a very high quality fertilizers and so on, such that we will produce the raw materials for meet the demands of industry. We get a lot of few industries in town or in Sierra Leone, but they are underutilized. For example, you look at Mountain Lion in a rice processing sector. If you go there, most times it's closed because farmers are not producing for meet the demand of that industry. You look at Benimix food industry, all of those are there. You look at the Sierra juice, all of these are there. We looking at the cashew as well. How best can we add value to our cashew and make it available instead of really looking at young guys tying it in a plastic in a funny way, hang up. Cashew is highly valued crop, and it gets a lot of money. But if we not add value to them, we don't get the much more needed forex that is required as per se or as per se. So that the thing and then they will try for advocate on. For we make sure say. But let me underscore this coming 2020. I think one of the most important thing to say, lack a way they impede the sector and access to finance.
Okay.
And this it cut across not only on agriculture but even entrepreneurship. Processes. If we need for improve entrepreneurship, we need to get an improved financial package where the entrepreneurs and agriculturists then go get for make them able for promote industries and move this country
and
forward.
most agri investor them working can engage with una force and let una tell them how the agriculture sector in the country. Waiting the investor you can look at waking one can show interest by agriculture.
Well, then they look at one with policies. Are the policies of this country right? Because any investor where they can first of all, now the rules and the laws, and the rules and the laws are embedded in the policy. What are the policies that are there in terms of lands, in terms of seed, in terms of fertilizer, in terms of market? Some investors will produce. They will look and say, is the Sierra Leone market ready to absorb my product? Or if not, are they also willing excess of my product to be exported? In what way? What are the export challenges in terms of really, shipment, the port issues and all of that, transportation constraints, all of these things investors then they look at generally also the enabling business environment. But anyway, the enabling business environment all get to do with policies. You know, what are your financial policies? If I get for remit money, millions of dollars outside there for come and invest in Sierra Leone, in the agribusiness sector, what are the policies governing that? How much tax I get for pay, or how much how much money they get for pull permit money? But quite besides that also, then they look at also some laws that we get for do with also importation of some materials where they get for use like machinery and other things. Is it free, or what percentage of duty do I pay because I'm coming with these equipment for can support Sierra Leone job creation, for can create, for can empower the youth, for can make sure so we make the food industry more vibrant, and all of this. What is the Sierra Leone government going to do to support me so that we will get all of these things right?
Okay, Mr. Nanon, before you explain the plan we get in house card Sevdo help for CCA them push private investment in agriculture in the country, I want for just take you back to waiting you talk about say the more the import rest in the country really alarming. So what do you think say that the key factor in some of the issues then they?
Well, the key factors are basically one, I think the government, which we get for improve on the technology. When we talk of technology, you know, agribusiness, agriculture and agribusiness, when you talk of agribusiness, you're looking at the business sector aspect. You know, it don't transform, I mean, significantly. You know, we farmers, the more normally they producing from hand to mouth, they are still subsistence. And the reason for this is they are still using hoes and cutlasses. Secondly, then they still use the old outdated seeds. Then seeds then they from time when you not born, when they don't begin for use, then 30 date 9 and they use. I mean, in other countries, if you want for if you want for really go into business, agribusiness, you get for always buy quality seeds and use them because the seeds already account for 50 to 60% of your product, of your yields. Then, secondly, you look at also issues that has to do with fertilizer, research and extension. These are things that are also very, very limited within the country. The government not get the capacity for provide all the research and even the extension support for make we will get the high yielding. I mean, we'll get high yielding for meet the demands of industries. Until we get those things, we can't be able to get there. So these are things that we need for focus on. And when we also talk about technology, we need for also get highly skilled people. In other countries like China, they got it right because what happened when they want for going to that, then take their young picking them, train them very well. Where they not get local skills.